Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Half the Race Gone for the September edition of the Audi TT Showdown series, the one-make race, no ABS, and lots of action guaranteed here from Suzuka. The very short east layout, lap times of just over 50 seconds, 52.4, fastest time set by the Finn Book that we're watching at the moment. And I think we're in for a treat. I think we're in for a really good one. Good evening to whoever's tuned in already here early in proceedings. That's GTR. Nice to see you. What a pleasure. And a supporter of the Whoop, our usually very skilled. He's always very skilled. Our French-speaking colleague broadcasting the IGTL races behind the wheel will be cheering for the Whoop as well here around Suzuka. So the format is, of course, a little different than what we're used to here. 2 races of 25 minutes and a very, very, very short qualifying session. One shot there to decide it now. First of the races will be the flying start one. The second one is indeed with a standing start. So oh, Ryan, sad to hear you're sick. Get well soon, mate, but welcome, and I hope to provide you with just a little bit of entertainment for your downtime, so to say. So on the grid tonight we've got Portuguese and Grosso. Of course, as mentioned before, we had the Book 68, the Finn. We have Avup, we have Jeff, James, Bottle Sparks, Halbstack, or Vollstack, perhaps I should say instead. Hello, Martin. What a pleasure. Nice to have you along. And qualifying is now on. Super Bowl format it is, of course, as always here. So it's 1 lap to make it count. It's 1 lap for it all to come together. And the 420 car of Dr. Hash, the illegal doctor, is of course out first. So as mentioned, I think it's gonna be a very interesting one. This one indeed. And we're gonna do our best to try and stay up to date as to what's happening with the qualifying session. Evening to Storm as well. Nice to have you along. And I'm very much alright. I can say that on my part at least. I hope you're good as well. We've got the Saral GT14 as well. We've got the Campino, the second of 2 Portuguese drivers from Canada. We got Carm as well. So a global event this one. As the first flyers are going on here, we got Pokakale from Germany as well. As mentioned before, Martin, the man from Fähausen, is here as well. So here's Dr. Hash, and with such short lap times, let's hop on board. Mind you, this is basically just turns 1, 2, the S's, and then a final corner to round it off. I think you all should be familiar with this layout. Of course, it's been a staple hold of the Gran Turismo series for so long indeed. And here round comes Dr. Hash for a 53 dead, and Grosso betters that by quite a bit, 52.4 he goes. Speedplay and Saral goes quicker as well. Wizard there, 4th fastest provisionally. Whoop comes around 6th on the grid so far. The next will be James and Carv. Well, Jeff James in 3rd place so far, but bumped down to 4th as the Finn Book 68 goes 1st on the grid. Provisionally, at least a couple of cars more to get round. Here comes Sparks. And that's going to be good enough for 3rd. And now we need Martin and Halbstack. Martin has had some bad luck. Halbstack though. Halbstack. So I did something. I tried to move the mic and I accidentally hit mute. But Halbstack goes 8th fastest. And with that, small movement of the microphone. Jeff is in the house indeed, and it's a pleasure having Jeff in the house for such an otherwise ordinary Monday night to spice it up here in the Audi TT Cup Showdown, organized by Dr. Hash, Schosse, Halbstark, our good mates, the good old Team No Team gang. That isn't the Team No Team gang at all anymore. They've all been placed and split apart and then joined different teams, and it's always a pleasure. Homecoming for Martin there in last place. So really, I think we're in for a treat. Schosse there. How did I manage not to see that the German has grabbed pole position 0.3 of a second clear of book 68? Now, how is that even possible on such short a track? I'm having a hard time getting my head around that one. And Grosso, in the end, third fastest in front of Sparks there on row 2 on the grid. Row 3, it's Campino and James. Row 4, Saral with Halbstark. Row 5, that'll be Wizard and Calm. And then on row 6, we're seeing Avup and Pokakale. And then on row 7, it's... well, Hash is somewhere there in between, but he's in the pits now, so never mind. Hash is in there somewhere. 10 minutes till the race gets underway. I think we'll have a final bit of warming up done. Or maybe some artsy pirouette driving there. A short break for whoever would need such. No surprise to see Schosse. No surprise to see Schosse grabbing pole position here tonight. Evening to Pedro as well. Rooting for Grosso and Martin. Trademark. Going the wrong way. That's just something these Dutchmen have in their blood. He's giving us nothing else to look at. Oh my word! He's going the wrong way! Good old Murray Walker. I've somewhere along the line, a long time ago, I promised I would never do a Murray Walker impression, but it slipped out of me. It's not very good at all. It's rather terrible. It slipped out of me on an occasion or two, and I do apologize. In reality, of course, anyone should be welcome to go on track at this point. This is a layout we don't get to do very often. It would actually be an interesting one to run at a reverse layout, this one. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. Someone stop him. Someone get out the pits and stop this man. Well, Martin wanted to make sure that there were no doubt that he was actually dead last here. Yeah, that's a good one. But I'm not sure. Oh, it says you're allowed to go on track. The question is. Oh, he almost stopped himself. Finally, some sanity into this world. As Sparks, is he sane? Is he insane? Is he gonna turn it around like Martin? Oh, he's considering it. off, he says. Calm will hear none of it. Same goes for Halbstark. Wondering, Sparks. No, he's in the end. The madness doesn't become real until they head in two directions around track against one another. So a little bit of warming up allowed. A good evening, a very warm welcome to everyone tuning in here. We've got 6 minutes till the start of the first heat now. Settings are actually quite simple for this one. We've got tires and fuel ×1. We've got damage on heavy. We've got ABS off and basically all assists off. And yeah, that's it. Some really good racing to come, I'm sure, as there isn't really the space to break away and there isn't really the super high-speed corners to really facilitate the dirty air. So I think we're going to be in for some really tight stuff here. Of course, Suzuka's S-bends here are notoriously difficult to overtake upon, but can make for good racing as well. Good luck to you as well, Jeff. And exactly, Ryan, that's exactly what I mean. Please send Martin there. As you can hear today, my girlfriend is at home here with me, so the door is closed, so we have this closed door filter on the after race talk. But sometimes when she's right next to me in the couch and starts the Bargarinos. Let's go on board with Halbstark for a lap. Of course, very familiar with turns 1 and 2 at Suzuka and the S-bends as well, by the way. Very nice execution there from Halbstark. The S-bends is like the patient test of motorsports, because you just lose from going in too quickly. And it's all about knowing the balance, keeping it there. And just as we were on board with Halbstark for a flying lap, didn't exactly turn out that way. Schosse it's just gone fastest by not a lot, half a tenth. But that's of course just practice here. He did grab pole position by Martins, now doing it in proper Dutch fashion, as he's going the wrong way, but the right way. He's going backwards. Achteruit. Achteruit, Martin. And all of a sudden the wang cam gets a whole newfound sense of importance here. Oh, he's off. Martin practicing from what might be to come after the 2 TT Cup races. As per tradition, we end off these TT Cup Showdown broadcasts with a little bit of fun. Three minutes till the start of the first heat, and a bit of destruction going on already there. It's hampering up Wizard. Campino's joining the madness alongside Martin. What has become of this already? Oh no, indeed. Let's book improving on the personal best here in practice at least. Still not improving on Schosse's time though. Brilliant strat indeed to practice for that all-important backwards race. Not to forget the whoop, and they're all doing it now. Is this some kind of protest? Has the organizers done something? Have they reduced the salary of the drivers or something? So of course we're having a warm-up lap. It's gonna be a very short warm-up lap. it's gonna be, well, the shortest of warm-up laps, more or less possible. But it is gonna be there, the warm-up lap. Here's Grosso. As we're on board with the wing cam. Is that Schusse on the inside? No, it's not. Schusse's in the pits at the moment. So it cannot be. Who's that in the number 3 machine? It's not Campino. What is even going on? That's a good question, Dredgen. I don't even know. 1 minute till start, and half the field is going backwards. Ryan, you've always been a trendsetter, whether you know it or not. Here's the call for Dredgen, because they wanted to, I guess, some free spirits. Didn't feel like following the rules. They felt like doing the exact opposite, and here it is. The final has been started. The first heat is just about to get underway. Ladies, gents, everything in between as well. It's gonna be a blast, I think. Remember the formation lap on this one that goes to the drivers as well. Reverse only eco race. That's gonna be a new one, Storm. 14 drivers on the grid here tonight. I think it's gonna be Treat Schusse on the pole position in front of Book. That's of course the first of rows. Row 2 is gonna be Portuguese and British with Ingrosso and Balsparks. So is row 3 with Campino and James. Now Campino, remember. Careful. And row 4, Saral and Halbstag. Row 5 is Iris Racing Team, represented by Wizard and Dr. Hash. And then row 6 with Calm and Aboub, so the French speaking, or I don't know if he's French Canadian or actually English speaking Canadian. Shouldn't make any assumptions, but something in common, I guess. And Poker Kale alongside TSR Martin on the final and 7th row of the grid. And look at this very short formation lap. They're already forming up. They're already at the final corner. Schuss is gonna lead him out in front of Bukri, the 2 orange guys. He's taking out all the cones. Not bad. Indeed, nice to have you along, Jimmy. Nice to have you along as well, Swablo. And here they go. It's green, green, green. And Schusse gets a really good run here, defending from Book. And let's go on board with the wang cam of the German here into turn 1. And is everybody gonna make it through safely? Sparks us up into 3rd place. And then it's Ingrosso 4th, Campino 5th, and then it's James in 6th place, Halbstag 7th, and Hash up into 8th place. Looking good. Everybody seems to be keeping it clean up through the S's. Something you can so easily get wrong here on the first occasion. At the bottom of affairs, it's Pokakale, but hasn't picked up damage, so that's a good thing. Martin has picked up that 1 position. Let's go on board with the Dutchman to have a look how things are looking from the back of affairs with that very tightly bunched field as they come on. Yet again, 30 laps of racing. Martin having a look to the inside of Calm, but thinking better than actually having a go there. Schusse beginning to get a little bit of a gap down to Book, and then the real train starts. That snake, that worm of cars, that centipede of titties, we might call it. Sparks holding on to 3rd place in front of Ingrosso. The 2 Portuguese drivers there in close following. Jeff James in 6th place at the moment, holding tight. There's a little bit of a heavy understeer in the end from Campino, losing out Seems to get a good exit though. Oh, and then Grosso getting a wheel in the grass. That must have cut some time indeed. Time for something to drink as well. And no, it's a canned beverage, non-alcoholic, though it's not a beer, although it sounds like it. Good evening, Jack. Nice to have you along supporting for James. Still going strong in 5th place here is actually a strong challenge from the Jeff driver here. Really pushing for the top 5. And it's a good push indeed. Well, figuratively pushing. Schasse is running away with it at the moment. It seems the 2 orange cars of Schasse and Book gaining a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the front runners there, with 1.5 seconds down to Sparks in 3rd place. We can call contact the titty titty bang bang storm. That's we can easily call that. That's very good indeed. That's very good. Cheers. So we're on board with Dr. Hash here, P8 at the moment. And now kind of a move coming there in front. That's Halstag squeezing it up the inside of James in front, but is it gonna work out? I think the Jeff driver gets the run, keeps the place indeed. Now let's have another look on board there with James here, the wang cam coming up through the S-bends. Oh, that's that's an interesting move. An interesting way to pull it off. Well defended by James to take the position and take the outside lane, keep it open there. Halstag really pushing. Swap though. Howdy Cliche, nice to have you along. This next lap. So Schasse, look at that, Book is really caught up to the front runner here. And is now yet again a battle for the lead. Schasse defending, wisely defending the inside into turn 1. Oh, as Book almost gets it wrong. Goes on the AstroTurf. That's a dreadful place to be indeed. And then behind, well, the next 4 runners is still status quo as well, but it's close though. We're on lap 7. 2 front runners slowly sneaking away. We're on board with the Sparks P3 at the moment, here with the wang cam. It is indeed that good titty wang. But we haven't seen any titty titty bang bang, it seems, yet. Although I might be proven wrong by the fact that Pokakale has really lost some time. Hasn't picked up any damage, so it really doesn't seem that way. Calm is in 12th. Oh, and here is Pokakale getting it wrong. Final part of the track. Yeah, goes on the grass, goes across, floors it, and manages to actually straighten the car up just in time. Was Book going deep through the S's. I think these two have really picked up on the advantage. It's now 2.4 seconds. Yeah, Cliche. Wang cam is good. Want cam. A want cam. What kind of cam? Face cam? That'd be okay if it's some. I'm getting some weird vibes there. Just kidding though. Sparks still 3rd in front of it. Grosso, the pressure still being applied though from the Portuguese in 4th. And then Campino still managing to hold on to 5th as we jump back to another piece of wang cam here. Sorry if you got a quick issue of bouncing heads there. So I hit a button I wasn't supposed to hit. That opened some sort of menu. There's a very close battle in behind there for 6th place. With it's still James defending from Halbstag, but they've really bunched up behind. And that means it's James, Halbstag, Dr. Hash, and Wizard in 9th place. The Eries driver. Let's go on board with the Wizard here, as they're all hopping to the right to stay in within the slipstream. Seems Wizard is actually the one gaining on Dr. Hash. Has a little bit of a look. It is indeed difficult to overtake here. Now there's a bit of a battle in front as well. I think that was Engrosso having a look, but not getting past on Campino. Let's have another short look at it. Oh, going a little wide there. Looked like a look, it was more evasive action in the end. A third through the race, and it's still very close indeed, and much too close to call. Anything can basically happen here. Schoss is still defending from Book, but it's just by 0.4 of a second. Hashtag real burp. Excuse me. But I was just about to say before I burped that as it really looked like Schoss was pulling away early days, the Finn behind really made a move to join the front runner, and they've been pulling away steadily. Now look at Bottle Sparks here, still in 3rd place, and with that snake of cars behind, Bottle Sparks must have made absolutely zero mistakes in defense here, not to compromise themselves in any way against Engrosso, Campino, and the rest of the bunch. Then further down there's a bit of a gap somewhere as well as down here by Martin, who's crawled up into 10th place, getting past on Saral, getting past on Avoup as well, who looks to have had some kind of bad luck, and there has been some titty bang bang, and the Frenchman has been involved in it as he's picked up aero damage on his rear. So that's less than lucky for Avoup. Look at that now, the gap from Schoss and down to Sparks, 4.5 seconds. And with Book right on the tail of the leader, it's a sizable advantage they've built up as we're getting closer to the halfway marker here of the first of 2 heats. Oh, and Bottle Sparks almost bottled it, goes wide on the entrance, but might just have been a planned move to get a good exit. Let's have a look here with Sparks. It all in the end turns out being a very, very nice line through there. And that was a big bang on the team indeed. Face cam at 550 subs. Well, Swablu face cam as quickly as possible. Alongside well, first of all, the capture card that we'd also need to really get the face cam rolling properly. So I think those two things would come alongside each other. And as soon as possible, ASAP. It could be at 550 subs. It could be before. And speaking of subs, if you like what we do here on Half the Race Gone with the Audi TT Showdown series, with the IGTL, or with the TSR stuff that we're doing, maybe with the iRacing stuff, or with Dirt and Rally, or with the NES even, well, you can subscribe to keep in tune and in touch with what we do here. There's a move coming in from Engrosso. Has a look up the inside. Immediate second look. That's a little far back. We're gonna have another look no matter what here. The Portuguese, not from the Wang Cam, but I was saying, of course, if you like this particular broadcast, don't hold back on those, throwing them around, the thumbs up. It really helps it. Anyway, it was a bold move, if it was to be, from the Portuguese here in Grosso. Well, it wasn't. And it's still status quo. And it's so close indeed. With the cars from 4th and through 9th separated by no more than a couple of seconds. And Martin. Storm is really packing those punts. Martin there is getting a bit of a sketchy moment on that exit from turn 1. Have a look. On board with the Dutchman. The man from Favhuisen. Oh, a little bit of a squirm, but he's catching up to the train in front. Here we are on board with Halstag this time around. Jeff is right in front of Halstag at the moment in 6th place. Let's go on board with Jeff, as you can see here. As they're all doing nicely for themselves, it has to be said. And that's also why no one's really able to make anything materialize here mid-pack. Because, well, in turn, there really hasn't been the space to do so. Look at this now. Schosse, well, book 68. The Finn is just getting closer and closer, and you have to think there might be a move coming at some point. Here's the German going defensive, yet again hugging the inside line into turn 1. And yet again, Schosse proving that... Oh, who's that going off there? That's Engrosso! That is Engrosso going way off into the distance. And I suspect came in too fast. Yeah, hit that AstroTurf, went sliding, got it under control, but lost so much track position there, down into 9th place, 10th place even, as Martins crawled through as well. And that's the Dutchman up into 9th place now, catching that train in front. Oh, and there's a good battle going on between Dr. Hash and Wizard. It's Wizard with the move on the Doctor. Didn't really seem to come off. Here it is. Oh, just about seeing space where there was almost none. Very opportunistic, very nice racecraft from Wizard just to try to sneak up on through on the inside. But of course, Dr. Hash with the run there on the outside, making it all but impossible to get through on the inside with the extra speed he was carrying there. A little bit of a battle now. Halstag has lost out as well. Is it down into 9th place now? So it is all happening in front. That is, of course, James up into 5th. It's Hash up into 6th. And Wizard up into 7th. And it just about happened too late. Or too early, you could say. So the first couple of, well, you could call them casualties. Drivers getting it wrong, ending up on the wrong side of the gray bits. Man, James looking consistent indeed. Very strong there. 28 thousandths of a second off personal best lap time. That is by all means impressive. Now back up with the book and Schosse. Schosse's put a little bit more time into the Finn in 2nd place. Just that little bit of time that might be acting as a buffer. Oh, and Schosse, though, gets it a little bit wrong through turn 1. I don't think it's going to be costly enough that it's really going to be expensive. But it was a bit of a squirm there. Wizard still trying to get past on Dr. Hash. Almost with the overlap into the S's there. It's slow, but it works. Let's carry it on through up into 8th place. It's Martin, of course, with the bad luck for Halstag there earlier on. And again, it's Wizard really close to the rear end of the Doctor. It's about a 1/10 of a second in between the two. It does not get much closer than this. This is impressive stuff. They're really going at it. They're kind of expecting Wizard to bump him anytime, but doesn't do so. Oh, just slightly misses the apex there. That costs a little bit of time. And who's that getting caught? Avup is in the pits to repair some damage, I guess. When the Frenchman is now reappearing amidst the pack, right behind the two leaders. It's not the best of situations to be in here. Shaza yet again goes a little wide through turn one. Seems to be his line, but could be the thing that ends up opening the door for Book in second here. It's still Sparks hanging on to third place. It's been a strong showing so far. Capino in fourth, the Portuguese. And then James in fifth place, still Hash sixth, still Wizard in seventh as well. And then it's Martin, who's now up into eighth place. And with a couple of laps to improve upon that even as well. So what's that gonna be? Well, that's a very good question indeed. No, still 0.7 of a second to close. The thing is, though, it can go so quickly. Just the slightest of incidents, and it can be all gone in front. As now there's a little bit of a gap actually opening from Campino to James in fifth place. It's the first time we've seen any sort of splits at this part of the field. That's oh, now that might be, I think, just having a look there, Campino, but also having a good run on Sparks. But is it good enough? Well, that's the question in the end. In the end. Oh, there's Martin making the move on Dr. Hash. And grabbing a position for himself. That's not bad at all. TSR Martin. Have a look just how that happened. Oh, that's not. That's just Hash getting it all wrong in turn one indeed. And now Martin's on the rear end of Wizard. We're just going to check out what happened for Hash. We're on board now with the Doctor. Oh yeah, just absolutely sends it into turn one here. Chasse is holding on to it, though almost getting it all wrong there through turn one as well. It's been a little sketchy in that first corner for the German. And all the while, Book in second, still doing so well just to stay on the tail. Might be contemplating just where to make that move in the end. And turn in behind, it's still Sparks, it's still Campino, and then James in fifth place. And then right behind, or 0.6 of a second behind there, it's Wizard, Martin, and then Dr. Hash. Here is Wizard now yet again catching up to James, and he's gonna have the company of Martin yet again. They're all coming back together. 5 laps to go. Well, that's less than 5 minutes left of racing in the end. My chat laptop is causing me some trouble at the moment. I'm trying to get my phone to do the business. But to welcome Arden. Nice to have you along. MFAC as well. Is you all here cheering for James now as there is a lap traffic in front? That's gonna go all wrong. That might have caused a big calamity in the end. There are huge carnage, I'm afraid. Poker Kale. I'm afraid it happened right around the German as he was just trying to get out of the way. Just have a look at what exactly happened. Oh, someone gets collected there. The question is who? The question is who? It wasn't Abu. Wizard's gotten completely collected there. Martin as well. Sadal, the lucky escapee. Wizard and Martin though. What poor luck in the end. Still Chasse defending from Book. Status quo here. Sparks, and it's really getting heavy, the pressure here from Campino. James is looking sharp. It's right there to pick up whatever pieces will be left. Dr. Hash and Halbstag. Well, it's their luck. The bad luck of the others in this situation, and a big oomph. A big major oof indeed. And indeed, Thunderstorm Wizard just died. Oh, Chad is back here. So, turning my attention to the lead battle. What has happened to Book here? He's lost 12 seconds. And we've all but missed it. And that must have given the race victory, the Heat 1 victory, to Chasse. There can be no other way around here. It's the Sparks almost battling, and as Campino goes around on the inside on the way out to the final lap. And now James, ever the opportunist. I think there's overlap into turn 1. He has the inside line on Sparks. And that is brilliant defending from Sparks to keep 4th place here. Let's have another look at whatever happened throughout that situation before on board here with Campino. Oh, that's a little bit of a forceful one. With a final lap overtake this one, but seemed to work out in the end. And Chasse has crossed the line for the win, and it's been a brilliant drive for the German, taking the checkered flag in front of Book 68, Campino, Sparks, and James, making out the top 5, and then it's Hash and Halbstag in 6th. And 7th place, it's gonna be 8th place for Engrosso in the end. Saral there comes home for 9th with Martin in 10th place. Such poor luck for both Martin and Wizard to really get taken out big time there. It's Calm for 11th and Wizard in 12th. And then it's Avub and Poker Kale on the last 2 positions. The first challenge failed for very much indeed failed for Martin, but what a heat, what an end to it. That was absolutely brilliant in the end. The question is, Not a bad race at all. Not a bad race at all. And of course, congratulations to Shosse. Congratulations to Book and the rest of the podium finishes. It really got hot at the end there. I'm so sorry to see that wizard. Indeed, art and chat all dominated by Jeff. It's but I ain't complaining. Who would I be to complain? You're all welcome here on Half the Race Gone. A 7 minutes break. That means, should you have anything you need doing, well, off to the little house you go. Off now, or to the kitchen. If you need snacks, now it's the time. Oh, you might be sitting in the kitchen. Thus, you're in a very good place. A very good place indeed. So close to all the good stuff. Support is key. Support is important. It's all nice. We have that community support as well. Just look at the TSR boys. They're doing the same thing as well. A little bit of bouncy heads as I'm gonna make a party, as I'm gonna have a little bit of a talk with the top 3 drivers. So sorry for the bouncy heads, as I call them, the blue screen. Let us see. Who was actually? It just got embarrassing because I don't remember who was. Oh yeah, it was Campino in 3rd place. Of course it was. Indeed. Hello, Shosse, and congratulations on, well, we're getting used to you winning here on the channel, and I think our viewers are doing that too. You had a very good and a very long battle with Book there throughout the race. Can you describe how that felt, having to defend for 30 laps on? Martin's saying that the voice settings, but I don't think the guys can necessarily hear you. Oh, they can't, Shosse, you need to... when will you guys learn voice sharing settings?
I changed it someday. Why?
I don't know
so
why.
Sorry.
Well, that's a chance for me. It's just a second. I'll just do some inviting. Then I'll just invite James for a talk as well, as there are so many of his supporters here. Would be stupid of me not to have a chat with him as well. So we'll have an extraordinary 4th chat. But Shosse, the mic is all yours.
Yes, I want to thank you and Book. It was a fantastic race. We really could build a gap to the 3rd driver, and yeah. You nearly made it, but you lost it. It's so sad.
Oh, indeed. Sad scenes as Book lost it. Book, did you join us for the interview here as well? Or who was that? I saw someone joining. well, he is here. So, top 3 bouncy heads. Yeah, the best bouncing. Which head is the best bouncer? Book isn't a true Finn. Not one to say too much in English, so that's okay. That's all understood. I've sent the invite to James as well, and to Campino as well. But doesn't seem like
no one is coming.
No one is coming. I'm having this party and no one is showing up. Maybe James is not entirely aware.
Maybe he's in his only in his own one because he's streaming.
Oh, yeah, that's actually
that could be the case.
That's actually very much probably the case. Anyways, Shasse, if I couldn't talk to anyone else, well, I'm glad I could talk to you in the end. And congrats on yet another great win. It hasn't been the first one. I'm sure it won't be the last one as well. And last but not least, best of luck for Heat 2, which is to come shortly. And
Yes.
yet another moment. Oh. Bouncy heads over and the party over as well, because otherwise the audio is just gonna be so low that we can't hear anything. Well, shots in a war zone. Paul, it wasn't gunfire. My chat is slowly catching up to me. My computer really acting up here. Yeah. Oh, would have been nice to have James on for an interview, but what do you know? It wasn't gunfire. It was some fireworks outside. I don't know why I've had. I don't know if that's what you'd say if you had gunfire outside of your window every day. Although I don't have gunfire out of my window. We've had gunfire here before, but it wasn't gunfire. It was just some fireworks. Though I don't know why they would be doing fireworks. I mean, it's a little strange. Nevertheless, the drivers are out practicing, just warming up for Heat 2, which is to come right away in a couple of moments. From our radio adverts, coffee, it makes you talk a lot when you drink it. I don't know. Radio, Apple is really good at the radio. Have you had some kind of? He's really good at doing the British insurance advertisements. I'll have James in for a chat at the end of the second race. That's a good idea. That's duly noted. 2 minutes was written. Some timing, I'm not sure. It just says, get ready, guys. Good luck, have fun. And here it is. So that was 2 minutes, 2 minutes ago. And it's time to get going. Can I say it's a pleasure having you all along. Feel like there's a really nice vibe going in chat. And I do love it when that's the case. Here is the grid. Of course, the top 10 has been reversed based on qualifying starting grid. So it's Hash in front of Wizard, Halbstack, Sadal, James, Campino, Sparks, and then Grosso. I didn't really seem to get any more of it. Well, have a look at the green lights or the red lights, because when they go green, when that sets itself. And here it is. A lot of wheel spinners to come, and I think Dr. Hash gets a Verstappen-esque run there, not very good at all. And that's going to give the lead to Wizard if he can hold on down to turn 1. And it is very close to go side by side. Still the Wizard, small notch. And still side by side they are. A major bunch going up into the S's here. The Wizard doesn't want to budge. And Dr. Hash squeezes through back up into the lead. Sadal in third place, Halbstack fourth, Campino down into fifth. James having lost a single place as well. Then it's Sparks 7th and Grosso in 8th. Further down it's Book 9th, Shosse 10th. Then Martin in 11th place in front of Com and Aboop. And up in front, well, it's still going here between Dr. Hash and the Wizard of the Aries Racing Team. Here, Wizard trying for it on the inside, and he's not gonna give Hash the space. He's gonna go up through, I think, and they're gonna go for a carbon copy of what they did on lap 1 here on lap 2. Though I think this one, Dr. Hash might compromise himself as Wizard takes the lead. Brilliant run from the Aries team driver there. And Dr. Hash doing well to defend in the second round of things. Let's go on board with Wizard just having a look. It's a brilliant stuff indeed. Using that turn okay there, it just gives a little bit of a squeeze to Dr. Hash, but this is touring car racing, and it's nothing that I wouldn't want to see. It's really close door-to-door stuff, this amazing. Then Hash is in front, then back on they go, and there he just loses out. Brilliant stuff indeed. So Wizard now in the lead. Oh, and Dr. Hash has gone all the way back into 8th place here. And that must have been while we were watching the replay from before. Bad luck for Dr. Hash indeed. Evening to Uche Jr. as well. What a start it's been. Bad luck for Hash. Let's say that Shosse has gotten the better of Book and is up into 9th. And then still in front, it's Wizard in front of Sadal, Campino, Halbstack, Bottle, Sparks, James, and Grosso. And then the unlucky Dr. Hash. Whatever happened to him, still don't know. Shosse, winner from the first heat, is 9th at the moment. Here is James. Sort of gets compromised. And I think actually loses a place, if I'm not completely mistaken here. To Grosso. On we are with the Wang Cam here. And actually the Portuguese is right on the inside of James here. And there's no defending that into turns 1 and 2. Bit of a shame for James, losing yet another place here. And the heat is really on. Shosse finding himself right in front of Book yet again. This time they have the company of otherwise usually really swift Dutchman TSR Martin there in 11th place. And the snake of cars still almost complete. Here comes oh, it's just a look from Book. Shosse gets a little bit of a squirm there. Oh no, that was Dr. Hash in front. And it's gonna compromise Dr. Hash. It's not enough. They are just so close. Up through here. In front, it's still Wizard, and having gained an advantage of 1.5 seconds. It's looking good at the moment. Aries Racing Team on top for the time being. And then Saral really having to defend from Campino, Halbstack, and Sparks. We're on board with the Campino here. The Portuguese in 3rd place at the moment. And the racing is indeed I'm glad you like the racing, Arden. It's been great every time we've been having these races. Here comes Halbstack through the S's for the move. He's trying to line it up for the final corner. Oh, just squeezes in front there again. Campino, there might be the chance here as Halbstack does go for the move around the final corner. Oh, brilliant one. That's going to be a long drag race all the way down to turn 1. And look at that on the inside. It's Sparks sneaking up through with a cheeky attempt. Although he doesn't pull it off in the end. Let's just have a quick second look at that battle here from behind. On board with Halbstag. Just sensing the space, squeezing in the car. And these drivers so skilled, so clean, so respectful. Want to win, but they want to win in a proper fashion. There, you would just think the move is made. But Campino on the outside gets the better run. Gets the speed onto the back straight. And, of course, the slipstream from the car of Saral in front. And in turn, keeps the position in the end. And so it's still Wizard leading Saral, Campino, Halbstag and Sparks. And Book, Martin, oh, what's happened to Schosse? Schosse is all the way. Where is Schosse even? Oh, they're in 9th place. Did all but disappear for a moment. Well, that's Book who's gotten past, so the Finn getting done what he couldn't get done before, and someone has been off, and that is Dr. Hash. That is Dr. Hash, who has been off. Was before indeed, but nevertheless, he's here behind with Calm now. On board with the Wang cam of Saral. Certainly, they're all close. Oh, someone got a big squirm there. And I think that was James. Down in 7th place. Let's just have a look under heavy pressure from the podium finishes from last race. Oh, what a brilliant save from James in that situation. I think we can take yet another look at that situation. This time on board with James. I have to think maybe there's a little bit of a push, but I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. Status quo still is in front of these. But it's not behind though, because Book fallen down into 11th place, the Finn, and has undone whatever good thing had happened before. And that's yet another position gain from Martin Schosse as well. Abu up into 10th place. Here is Engrosso 6th at the moment. Sparks in 5th. Halbstag still 4th. So what's it gonna be in the end? It's Wizard seeming to sneak away with it. Ever the cheeky one, but he has the pace to sneak away from Saral, and nobody else has the pace to get around the Spaniard in 2nd place. A third of the race gone by now, and ERT Wizard is looking very good by now with a 2.2 second gap and a great bit of consistency, great calmness about the motions of the car. Smooth driving style of Wizard indeed, looking very good so far. Saral still having to defend in this Spanish-Portuguese battle for 2nd place. Although at the moment with a 0.4 second of an advantage, so it's not that close here as it is between Halbstag, Sparks and Engrosso. On board here with the Portuguese in 6th place. Are you seriously meant to do that? Oh, James has fallen down into 8th place. Schosse has gotten past on the Jeff driver. And it happened outside the range of our replays. Well, Legner, welcome to you. Nice to have you along. Of course, rooting for the leading Wizard. And Martin here for TSR, looking good for a team challenge here. Going up against the 66 car, the Jeff car of James in front. gets a very good run. But it's not good enough. Does have a look. Likes to stress the car in front. Look at that battle going on in front though. It's all kicking off. And I think Traels is just managing to hang on. We're on board for a replay shot. As everybody seemed to get a little squiddly in the exit from turn 2, but they're all seeming to hold up just nicely. There's Chasse squeezing past on Grosso up into 6th place. Is anybody else gonna follow him along? Just seems that German has a little bit more than anyone else here. Quick second look at that move. Squeezing through up through the S's. But doing so without losing too much speed. And now looking at finding a way past on Sparks, sitting in 5th place at the moment. Swift, it's cramped because it's the Suzuka East layout. And I'm really glad about that sub. Arden, thank you so much. Do appreciate it. So Wizard, 3.6 seconds of a lead now. We're halfway through and it's looking better and better for the iRacing team. Traels holding on for dear life to 2nd place. And there's an entire centipede yet again of titties behind. It's Campino 3rd, Halstag 4th, and Sparks in 5th. But the big mover for this heat has been the winner of the first heat, Chasse, who's up into 6th place already, and Grosso in 7th. And then James in 8th, under pressure from the TSR car of Martin, who's all over the bumper. And then it's Avup, who's in 10th place. Right in front of Book, who was up there last heat. Finished 2nd, right up there. Actually managed to get the better of Chasse, incredibly enough. But now, after some kind of incident, having fallen down the order as the last car in the train here, with a lot of overtaking left to do, but not a lot of catching up to do like the rest of the drivers here. That is Hash Calm that we're watching now, and then Pokakale. It's all been involved in some kind of calamities that's lost them big amounts of time. And all the while, Wizard's expansion is ongoing. I was about to say the lead is expanding up to almost 4 seconds now. Traels, however, also expanding his advantage down to Campino. Now the Portuguese seeming to be the one really defending. And that's not the way to go. Once somebody gets too close, it seems they start running away from the driver in front. And when they get too slow, that when it also becomes dangerous, being in the middle of that bunch. And by the way, cheers, Jack. Appreciate it. And you can also can always frag him. It's a good new one, huh? Campino just making sure to close the door. And we're on board here with Grosso with the rightwards facing cam. Just look at Chasse. Really, he's got the big flashlight out, searching for a way past on Sparks. Oh, and almost compromises his own position there. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. There's a slight squeeze from Chasse to Sparks there, but I don't think it matters too much. Those two drivers know each other very well indeed. Look at the exit speed from Chasse. We're gonna go on board with the German here, as he really must be contemplating some kind of move on Sparks in front. You don't get much closer than this. Oh, someone gets it badly wrong there in front. And who was that? That's Campino, the Portuguese. Let's have a look at what happened, because I have no clue Oh, seems to have to brake too hard. Trying to save it and then kicks the other way. And, oh, turns. Have to turn it all the way around and now finding a long way of making up, a lot of making up, a lot of catching up to do now. And that is indeed a lot of drivers making up a place. That goes for Halbstag as well, who's now having a look up the inside for Traels there for second place. And is it gonna work? It's not yet Falstag, but it's close to. Someone's off there to the inside, someone's off to the outside as well. Was that Book? Might have been Schosse though, of course, up into 5th place. Here is a squeeze from Schosse to Sparks there, and it's all going down now. And Schosse, ever mindful about not compromising his own position in the pack here. Who was that? Oh, that was James! That was James! Who's been consistency himself so far through these 2 heats. I think that's a bit of a nudge from Martin, who also holds back in that situation. And I think we'll just get that confirmed in a jiffy. On board here with the Dutchman. Indeed, a little bit, but there wasn't really anywhere to go for Martin. Sounded like he got a little bit of contact to his own car as well, so it just got a little naughty, a little too close for comfort. And Wizard, within the last 10 laps of racing, a 5-second gap to defend still from Traels, who's done so brilliantly in order to hold on to that second place. And look at Schosse, who's up into 5th. Started 10th. You wouldn't put it past him to be able to move up into 2nd place before the end of the race. I do think it would be a little out of touch catching Wizard there all alone in front. Now there's the move coming from Halbstag to take 2nd place away from Traels. After so many laps of defending, finally Halbstag gets the better of the Spaniard. Finally for Halbstag. I think Traels was really hoping to go all the way. Not even the slightest bit of contact there. Oh yeah, just as I say that, there is actually a slight bit of contact, but a clean move in the end from Halbstag. Sparks is doing well to keep Schosse behind. We're on with the wang cam here of Sparks' car. Needing to bail in as well. Fubuki, nice to have you along. It's looking very good. And it's nice to see the Erie's community lads here cheering for the Wizard, leading at the moment. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there. A naughty nudge from Schosse. But it's nothing that hurt Sparks, that's for sure. Aboop is in 6th place at the moment. That's quite good from the Frenchman. It has to be said. He's gotten past on a number of cars and has kept it very clean all the way through here. Beckham into 8th place. In 9th at the moment is James, right in front of Martin, who did have a little bit of a tap into James, but also gentlemanly waited in behind. Campino lost a lot of time there with his incident. 11th, same goes for Hashcarm and Pokakale. And in the front, it's still by 5.5 seconds. ERT Wizard looking so strong. Halbstag with 1 second of advantage now as well, down to Sparks. So if anyone to challenge, it'd be a Halbstag, but isn't really looking like it at the moment. Looking so good for Wizard. Now Schosse having moved up into 4th place. Is it something we can have a look at? It certainly is. As first Sparks seemed to kind of muscle his way through on Traels, and there goes Schosse as well. Up on through. So once one came past Traels, they all started flooding past the Spaniard. who's been really going well, really defending brilliantly from second position for the entirety of this heat, more or less. I was beginning to think that nobody was going to come through there. Martin's gotten up into the 8th. And that means that the Dutchman has gotten past on James. Oh, that's a smooth move from Martin. And getting the exit, it seems, having the run into the S's. TSR getting the better of the JEV boys. And indeed, overtaking is not easy here, but as we see, it does happen. And when it happens, it tends to be rather brilliant indeed. Schuss is now up into 3rd place. Well, we've seen a couple of moves happening up through the S's when it gets really close. Schuss in 3rd at the moment, now chasing Halbstag. In 4th, it's Sparks. In 5th, it's Saral now hanging on to that top 5 place. Side by side with Ingrosso here. Having the inside line, Ingrosso might go through on this one. I think he will. With the extra speed, carried on the outside, a little bit of a notch. Will that be too much? The Finn, Book on the inside. They're going to go 3 wide. And we're going to go on board with Martin here to have the best of panoramic views of the battle in front. Martin is going to send it up the inside here of Saral. He's going to go through as well. And Saral is all the way down into 8th place. A couple of nightmare laps for the Spaniard. Of course, he still kept it on track. But, Jimmy, very much indeed. Very much indeed. You aren't the only one to have noticed. It's not like it's occasional pace, it's pretty much every time. Oh, and what happened now? That's Ingrosso yet again. That's Ingrosso yet again. The Portuguese getting it badly wrong there in the final corner. There it is. From 5th place, let's have a look. Just goes too wide. That's driver error. Nothing but. It's gonna be costly indeed at the end. That's a position for a lot of drivers as Ingrosso loses 4 places. That's taken Book up into 5th place, Martin up into 6th, Saral 7, and James in 8th now. James on a charge as well. Wizard, though, look at this. The Erie's laps will be so happy to see it. The penultimate lap, 6.5 seconds of advantage. If he can keep it on track, it will be a win. I think we can say that much. And now it's Halbstag really having to defend heavily from Schusse in this all-German battle for second. Oh, Schusse dives in. There's a quite big, quite heavy shunt of contact between the two. Although no damage to the car of Halbstag. No damage to the car of Schusse as well. And there has been a lot of waving of the wand. There's been a lot of chants uttered, spells has been cast, and the wizard is in the lead. And is powerful indeed. It's a powerful wizard. And that is the magic showing. Schusse is gonna have a final attempt, a final go here on the final lap. Now in behind, Martin's up into 5th place. Martin's up into 5th place, haven't gotten the better of Book the Finn, and now he's going to the outside to try something here against Sparks. They're going side by side into turn 1, into turn 2 they go, and Martin going wide. And it almost happened, it almost worked. And in the end, Martin took the big chance, took the big risk, compromised himself. And who was that? Who was that who went off there? Oh, that's Schusse. That's Schusse on the final lap. Oh. Now Wizard takes the checkered flag, and that surely deserves an applause. Fantastic race from ERT Wizard of the Iris Racing Team. Halbstag takes second place. Third for Bottle Sparks of the TX3 team. Book in fourth. Martin comes home for fifth in the end. Impressive race from the TSR driver. Jeff James in sixth. Not bad at all. Sorrel seventh. Really fought for that one. It's Abu 8th and Grosso 9th. Schosse comes home for 10th after that shunt there on the final lap. Campino 11th. Dr. Hash in 12th place. And then coming home for 13th is Calm. Now let's just see if we can have another look at what happened there further up the order. And we couldn't. That was too late. Damn it. But what a victory! ERT Wizard, brilliant stuff, indeed. Somebody owes somebody $5. Yeah, you don't say. Let's just have a look at the race results, and yet again, bouncy heads, and more bouncy heads. Of course, just as I invite the players, the racers that are up here for that final interview, who actually yet again have to see it's Halbstag, Sparks, Wizard, and then of course James, who might be up for the chat this time around. Let's see. Sparks and Wizard and Halbstag, huh? And then James. Yes, good. I can remember. Tenth place indeed in the end for Schosse. Shocking result. Well, it would have been third had it not been for that last lap incident, so I think he'd be excused in the end. But what a race! Yet again, an amazing race here from the Audi TT Cup Showdown Series. And as I say that, we are joined by the Wizard of the Iris Racing Team. Wizard, what a race, what a win. Looking ever so dominant all the way through. Perhaps the best performance I personally have ever seen from you. Did it feel that way as well on track?
Yeah, I was quite lonely. I just tried to keep as consistent as possible and try and build a gap to the guys behind, because I know if Schosse got anywhere near the front, I'd be ripped. Because he did have a good 3 or 4 attempts on me on the fast lap times. But yeah, can't complain. It was good fun. Really enjoyed it. Unfortunate in the first race, made up for it in the second.
That's good to hear. And how did you get along with the lack of ABS? Seemed to master it pretty well for this race.
Yeah, it's tricky, but you're getting used to it. I didn't put any practice in. I forgot about it. Sorry, Hash. I practiced about an hour before and jumped in the lobby, and yeah, it was good fun. Really enjoyed it.
Well, that's good to hear. So great to talk to you, Wizard, and on behalf of everyone here, I think I can say congratulations on a strong wind. A strong wind? It was a strong wind carrying you to a strong win. I don't know where that came from.
I have strong wind as well occasionally. But yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for everyone for the race. It was really fun.
Well, thanks for being over. Halbstag, second place for you?
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
That was a bit of
action.
Controversial last lap, I believe. But
so that happened between you and
Schosse. Yeah, I just voted in chat to Schosse, and we will have to watch the replay to see what really happens. But
all right, yeah, I didn't see. I tried to have it on the replay as well, but I didn't catch it. So
yeah. Oh man. Yeah, we have another streamer. Maybe he had, but I mean, I had the impression of being quite still besides him, and I just wanted to get the inside again, and maybe he didn't see me, I don't know, he was just turning in there, and I was forced on the grass and just completely bent him because I couldn't go anywhere. Yeah, I feel really sorry. I don't know who fault that was at the end. You have to see.
Well, that's what.
But
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
happens when you have close racing at this level. Incidents occur, so nothing to say to
you
that.
don't have to when you hold up 29 laps and you're on P2 and there's some overpowered guy trying to overtake you last lap. I mean, he did a really good move on the first 2 corners to get alongside me. That was, and he was giving me space the next corner, and I still thought I am still in a chance to fight back, and that's what I do because I'm a racer at all, and it was the last lap, so I'm not giving up so easily. And we both know each other pretty well, and we can race with each other very good. But yeah, we have to see. But quite a good effort. I have to say.
Indeed a good effort, Habstag.
Yeah.
Congratulations on second place and a strong race there.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
our last of the podium finishes, Sparks. Eventful race for you as well. It seemed to be very hectic on track. Was that also your experience of it?
Yes, it was very hectic through the first half, battling with Halbstark, Sorel, and a Portuguese guy. I'm not going to butcher his name on live stream. And I was just trying to be very patient, considering the fact that there was no ABS, or someone was bound to brake too aggressively and go off the track. And luckily, someone did, and I just got through and was just trying to stay consistent because that's what I lack. I'm just trying to work on it. But yeah, it was a really fun race considering I haven't done a race like this in a long time with no ABS because I usually race with default ABS. But yeah, it was a very fun race, very hectic near the end, but managed thirds rather luckily. But yeah, like I said, fun in the end, and it was really fun.
I'm glad you had fun, and it's great to hear.
Yeah.
And good racing indeed, I must say. So congrats on that podium place.
Thank you.
In the end. And for a last bit of chatter, James, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, and I hope you enjoyed the racing here in the Audi TT, the TD Cup Showdown. So we'll be seeing more of you in the future, hopefully here. Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear, and thanks for taking the time to have a short word with us. And I'm glad to hear that you came along okay with the ABS. I'd say it's not everyone who has such a good first experience with it. Yeah. Oh, James, it seems you have your party settings set to not. They need to be set to share. I don't think anyone's heard anything of what you said, actually.
There we go. I think it should be working now.
All right. So maybe just a quick repeat of what you've just said to me. Sorry.
Can you hear me, chat? Can you hear me, chat? No, I just, I really enjoyed the first race. I was surprised by my own consistency, and it was super intense. I just lacked the consistency in the second race. You know, the pressure from the faster boys behind is always, it adds that little bit more pressure to the racing. So I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Chaussee and the Finnish guy, they just drive past you or drive on the outside, and I'm still waiting to get on the power on the inside there. Hats off to them. Got a lot to do.
Yeah, there certainly is some guys with impressive pace on this series, but glad to hear that you had fun, and glad to hear that you will be seeing more of you in the future as well. And with that, a short moment of bouncy heads, the heads of bounce, more bounce to the ounce, as the good old Roger Troutman put it back in the 80s. We're gonna have one last bit of fun for you here tonight, because what would it be without some silliness indeed? Now, yeah, this is not just a race. This is not just any race in the minis. This is, in the very best of Dutch traditions, a backwards race in the minis. We're gonna do one lap of racing because, trust me, it takes a long time. They don't do more than 50k an hour. Side by side, reverse. Everyone. Justin says 2 laps. We'll go for 2 laps. That's okay. Oh, it's a reverse layout. Oh, I'm so stupid. Goof, 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 goof. Yeah, I'm goofing. So now we're just waiting for everybody to line up. Isn't there gonna be more than these 6 guys? Where's everybody else? Sparks, Halbstark, what are you doing? Oh, Sparks is moving out. Oh well. It might be that this is what... I think this is it. Oh, somebody's getting out on track in a Fiat 500. And just starts going up. Is he gonna line up or no? He's just gonna go around like, what are you doing? Okay. That's a very long 2. Are you ready to see some backwards racing here from Suzuka? This is gonna be absolutely stupid indeed. They are off. Oh, Campino's going the right way, and he figures out, oh, he must be shaking his head. In the lead is Schosse. Schosse, Hash, Martin, Saral, that's the running order at the moment. And look at the speed they're not carrying through turn 1. Schosse actually managing to get squirmy. The inputs has to be smooth here. We're not on board with the wang cam. With the front. So just to let you all know, this is actually a thing in the Netherlands. It's been for many, many years. And usually they have comedians commentating on it. I cannot call myself a comedian, but there's still... I mean, look, have you ever seen the straight on Suzuka be this long? And here comes the cut. Oh, look at the track cut. Yes, and they're all getting it terribly wrong. Not all, actually. Because Martin, the Dutchman, is showing the skills. He's got it in his blood and he's taking the lead. Everybody else is getting it all wrong in behind. Look at Saral, look at Dr. Ash, look at Carm. Schosse is just about getting moving now. The German much too eager. And in last place, it's the Portuguese Campino. Let's go on board and have a look. What does he see? Now the wang cam makes more sense than ever before. Oh, Shinso's suffering in the Fiat 500. It's hardly even moving. The slipstream should in turn Campino faster than Williams. That's one thing. The thing is, the tactic here is to cut as much as possible and then to not hit the rev limiter. That's the quickest way to go. That, I think, is the key. Calm, the Canadian, has separated himself from the rest of the field as well and is now into second place. In third, well, who's that? That's Schosse, the German. And then I think it's Dr. Hash. No, he's in 5th place. It's Halbstark. No, he's last. Who is even in between? Oh, and then Shinzo is well, in regular racing, we have the safety car to make things less entertaining. Here is the danger car to make things more exciting. As Martin is now trying to clear this very short, very long straight. Book is left, he couldn't take it. It was more than his finish patience could do here. The TSR Mini banging it in through what is effectively turn 2. Almost gets it wrong. Here's Saral. Shots up in front. And there comes the danger car. It's calm. Gives us a very good static camera here for a second. Oh, Shaza spins it. Shaza spins it. That's gonna open the fight for podium positions. Oh, and he cannot even get it facing the wrong way again. And that means Saral is right way through and Dr. Hash is through again. And that means Shaza is now last. And there's some kind of poetic justice in the fact that the fastest driver facing the right way is now the slowest driver facing the wrong way. Martin's lost a lot of time to calm here, and the Canadian is coming with a charge on the final lap. The Canadians really figured out the key here as well, and they're gonna be going for it. And this is indeed the final corner. Who will pull off the track cut the best of these two? Martin goes for the cut. Calm goes for just keeping it calm and keeping it himself. It's Martin in a great position. He just wants to overtake, but there's nothing he can do about it. And I think picture's gonna go to TSR Martin of the Netherlands. In the dumbest race you've ever seen on Gran Turismo Sport. And who's gonna come? It's Saral third, I think it is. Brilliant stuff, indeed. And with the stupidness over with, well, that's gonna be this broadcast over with as well. But thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Thanks to all you JV guys for tuning in and hanging out all the way through. It's been great having you all along for this Audi TT Cup Showdown broadcast, the September edition. Of course, if you've liked what you've seen here on Half the Race Gone, consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up. And we'll be back on Thursday. I'll be joined in the commentary booth, in the digital virtual commentary booth, by Martin, who's just won this race here, and we'll be commentating on some older Super GT action as the TSR has a special event taking place this Sunday. We'll be commentating on it. Martin and I do tune in for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. And then this coming weekend, of course, with the NES and the IGTL Summer Championship Series as well. So there's a lot of Gran Turismo Sport action happening. I hope that you're all gonna be fresh for joining us for some of it. It's been a great pleasure having you along for today at least. And well, until next time, all I can say is take care, have fun, and bye-bye.